Hey there guys, it's Ara here, bringing you the 38th episode of my F1 2012 career. Today we're at USA, Austin, Texas, for the inaugural USA Grand Prix, and I've got to say I really like this track, I really do. I mean, there's a few corners that are a bit odd, and I could do without, but generally the whole overall track is a real treat to drive, and mainly because they copied so many corners from different places. You've got corners that resemble Turkey's swooping sections, and then also Maggots and Beckett's like sections in the first sector. It's a really great track, and you need to have a certain flow about it, and I just felt comfortable around the whole track really. And if you're new to me, new to my channel, please go check out my previous content. I'll put an annotation up in the bottom right for a series playlist so far. And obviously this is Austin, Texas, so we're coming to this second last episode, sort of like double episode upload in my career. So you can go check out plenty of episodes in that series playlist, and that might convince you to subscribe for weekly F1 2012 career. And it will be weekly from the end of this weekend, because I'm going to be going back to school. So coming through this really ruined lap, really, just because of Vern and whoever that was, I can't remember. I think it was a Sauber. Just getting my way through that little swooping section. I found that in practice there was quite a lot of tyre wear at this circuit, so something to watch out for in the race. But I'm looking good, and because it's a new track, I guess there are a few things you can kind of exploit in terms of corner cutting, and probably they'll end up making some rules about that at the race weekend. In terms the real race weekend, they'll probably tell drivers you can't do this, you can't do that, because as you can see going through this, the lap on a few corners, I'm cutting the corner quite a lot, going over the grass bit, and probably in real life they'll tell the drivers not to do it, and probably next year in the new game Codemasters probably have that in as well. But for now it's a new track, so it's always going to be like that. They don't exactly know what you can and cannot do. For instance, the Indian Grand Prix that just went past, obviously the drivers were told you can completely run off the track in that last section after that long right-hander. So there's quite a few corners in this circuit where I feel you could probably run off and get away with it. So ending the lap, we're probably going to have to go maybe for another one, we'll see. That lap was sort of ruined at the front of it, but never mind, we'll continue. So getting quite excited, actually getting to the end of this season, and it's looking good. It's ending really nicely, and I've really enjoyed making it for you guys, and I have already recorded what I wanted to for the Brazilian Grand Prix already. It's got nothing to do with the actual race, it was just like a little intro thing that I wanted to put at the video, so you can look forward to that. I enjoyed making it. May start off a bit weird and may throw you, but yeah, stick with it when you get to watch that, and I'll be uploading that probably on Friday or Saturday, depending on if I have time. So we are through to Q2. Not fastest, obviously, because I got interrupted at the beginning, but nevertheless, we are through to Q2. And now it's just loading up, and there we go. Q2, nice and sunny. It's going to be sunny the whole race as well, so it's looking pretty nice. No complicated weather, which is a treat compared to what we had in India. But obviously in India it wasn't too bad, because it was so far out ahead, didn't really matter. And so we're gonna start this lap on the options, obviously, because we're gonna have to speed things up now. So coming through now to the main pit straight. That corner's a bit awkward. You can get it quite wide, but coming through now. And on that corner, on that first corner, you can cut quite a lot of it. So that's what I was talking about earlier about corner cutting. So coming through this section, hopefully that's Massa getting out of the way. Thank you. Going through this Maggots and Beckett section, really like this section, and yeah, it's just a nice flow of no braking, just simply taking your foot off the accelerator pedal and then easing it back on in the middle of the corners. So really quite nice. It's actually well, I don't know. I don't want to say shame, but it's like USA get quite a nice track, but being USA, I mean, they're not the biggest F1 fan bases in the world. I mean, saying that USA is a big country, so there's going to be a fair few F1 fans, but I don't think it's nowhere near European, fan bases, and they have such a great track. I really must say it's a nice track. Apart from this corner here, this small little section here, all the way up to this corner as well. This corner's a bit awkward. Didn't really like it. And then sort of here ends. So just that little tiny section here. It's all nice and swoopy. And much like this is actually quite a lot like Istanbul in terms of the whole kind of longevity of the corner. But apart from that tiny little section in the middle, it's a really brilliant track. Just I think there's going to be a fair bit of argument from European fans, and I've already noticed it on if you go to like Sky Sports or BBC articles and you go down to the comments section when it's talking about USA Grand Prix, there's mostly just a whole lot of hatred from European fans, just going, oh yeah, America don't deserve like 2 tracks. And I agree with that. I don't think 2 tracks. I mean, I know it's a big old country, but seriously, 2 tracks. I mean, England doesn't even get 2 tracks, and we're like the base of like half the F1 teams at least. Well, actually, yeah, just about half, and then the rest are there's quite. I think there's how many? 2. I think it's 2 in Italy, and then let's see, 2 or 3 in Italy, and then quite a lot in England because you got Red Bull, McLaren, Caterham, Force India, Marussia. I think I think Marussia based in England, and who else? Drawing a blank. Williams. So that's how many is that? 5 or 6. I can't exactly count properly right now while commentating. And then you got HRT in Spain, and Ferrari obviously, and Toro Rosso in Italy. And I don't know if I can't remember if I'm missing anyone out. Sauber. I don't know where Sauber are based. Not too sure where Sauber are based. Maybe one of you guys can tell me where Sauber are based. I can't recall right now. But a fair few in England. So I think it's a bit unfair that we don't get 2 Grand Prix and somehow USA are going to get 2. Granted that the New Jersey one looks awesome as well, along with this one, but that just adds to it. It's just kind of like, well, okay, what USA probably not the F1's definitely not the first motorsport of calling to them, and they get 2 awesome tracks. The New Jersey one looks really nice, and the track doesn't even have to be nice. I mean, it's going to have New York as a backdrop. That's just going to be awesome. And as I already said, this track, love the flow of it. Obviously, they've copied quite a lot of different tracks to make it, but that's not too bad. I mean, sort of like a mix and match, and why shouldn't it be like that? And I mean, all tracks you have those certain corners that you just love above all others on that circuit. So why not just take all those corners and add them together to make one mega track? So yeah, that's enough of my opinion on the USA Grand Prix. I still think we should have one USA Grand Prix at least. Obviously I know it's good for in terms of getting F1 out there in USA, and obviously Bernie Eccleston and the FIA want all the money and the cash in their pockets. But also just in terms of going around the world, you do need USA. It's quite a big power in the world. Maybe not as big as it used to be, but in terms of Formula 1, it is a world championship, and that's what Bernie was saying as well, that we need to stop, staying in Europe and branch out. I half agree with him. Yes, I think we should branch out, but really, I don't want to see many more European races taken away. It'd be a real shame. And I think in a really interesting interview, Martin Brundle was talking about that to Bernie, and he suggested only maybe the British, Belgian, and Monaco, and maybe not even Monza. Just those first 3 be left, and that's going to be a real shame. I think what they should probably do is, I mean, I know they've had this argument before of extending the calendar, but really, can't you extend the calendar? I mean, I understand in terms of manpower, it's quite draining on the whole team, so why not let them increase their numbers? Right now, I believe there's a cap on the amount of staff you can have available to the team and how many are actively working out there in the races. So you can't have you can only have one set for both cars. You can't have two different sets for each car. You know, if they allowed that, they could easily maybe extend the calendar by at least, let's say, 3 or 4 or 5 races. But the simple fact is they can't extend it anymore because the teams are going to argue that we simply can't do that. You can't make people work flat out for 25 races. But if you just simply increase the number of staff there, then you're splitting the job at every Grand Prix by half. Then you can extend the calendar by like 6 or even more races. Just makes sense, but we'll see. We'll see in the future. I think a few pundits at Sky last weekend made some good points as well. Formula One does move on a lot, and maybe Europe. Maybe we have to move on from that as well. Maybe we might have to stick to only 3 because we have got to visit the world. It is a world championship. It's just about with the whole kind of Tilke circuits, it's getting a bit boring, frankly. India was designed by Tilke. Admittedly, that's quite a nice track, but the amount of Tilke circuits around now, and that all of them are pretty much the same sort of formula. Flat really. There's never any manufactured curves of Belgium. I mean, obviously that's a bit different because they carved it out of the Belgian countryside and stuff like that, but still. But that's all up in the air, and maybe it'd be quite interesting to hear what a few of you think. What do you think about the Tilke circuits, and do you like Tilke as a designer of F1 tracks? Maybe some of you do. So I've been talking a lot, not about the qualifying that's happening around us. I apologise if you want me to. So run through now, a quick run through of what's been happening while I've not been commentating on it. So an okay first Q3 lap. We're in third. Hamilton's on pole. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know if we can get the race win. The simple fact is, I concluded in Abu Dhabi that we can try and challenge the title. So really, we wanted to be on pole to get the best sort of shot, and especially when Hamilton's on pole right now. But we're starting in third, so it's going to be an interesting race. It's going to be a good one. We're going to have to overtake Hamilton definitely during the race if we are going to battle for the championship. I only just realised in Abu Dhabi that we actually are very near to Lewis Hamilton in the points. Only, I think, 11 points off right now or something. So tune in this evening for the USA race. It's going to be a good one. We have to overtake Lewis Hamilton, who are going to attack the championship. And I've been Arif, guys. Hope you enjoyed that different sort of episode in terms of commentary. But nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the evening for the GP race. Have a good day.